Going to a show has many more dimensions than just the bands playing. It's a social gathering. Additionally, the venue might allow re-entry, and the bar sells a great iced coffee. You might even remember being stuck in traffic on the way to a gig, or getting pulled over on the way back from one. I've been to a lot of shows. Quite often I'll talk to people about a band that came through, and I'll hear, "I wanted to go to that, but I didn't have anyone to go with me." That's a common reason people might not go to shows, and I'm going to tell you why you should go anyway. Showing up by yourself means it's 100% on your terms. You decide what time to leave, you decide how you're getting there, you decide if you want to stay afterwards and try to get autographs, you decide where you want to eat, and you don't have to worry about matching outfits if that's your thing. If you want to see the opening bands, you don't have to hear anyone say, "Well, why don't we just show up fashionably late and just see the headliners?" Also, you won't have to potentially leave early because your friend gets tired and has to work early the next day. If you feel like going somewhere before the show, you don't have to ask anybody's permission, just go. There's the concept of self-reliance and not being so dependent on other people to enjoy things. The best types of people to go to concerts with are punctual people. They're rare, but they exist, and they're the greatest. They'll be ready at the time you agreed upon, they'll pitch in gas money if that's how you roll, and you'll have someone to talk to on the way home. Shows can be shared moments for these reasons. But then you get the other kind of people. You show up to their place at the set time and they hadn't even showered yet. They want to stop at a million places on the way to the venue. They claim they're too broke to pitch in for gas money, but then they buy a bunch of beers at the show. That can really dampen your experience of what would otherwise be a splendid time. It's not even that they're bad people necessarily, they're just unreliable. I've had my share with both types, and I much prefer the considerate ones. But I want to lean into the social aspect of it. Going to a show by yourself shouldn't be seen as this depressing thing that happens only because you can't find anyone to go with. Quite the contrary. I would even argue that doing this on purpose could open up a lot of possibilities. Your attention isn't focused on whoever you might have brought with you, so why not start a conversation with the person in line next to you? Dialoguing with a real human being can be a lot more satisfying than playing on your phone and possibly having your dopamine drained. Even at the merch booth, sometimes it can take 20 to 30 minutes before you can finally get your stuff. The person behind you might could help you pick what shirt you want. And while they're at it, they might even tell you about their other interests and how many times they've seen the band. What else happens is when you go to the same type of shows often enough, you'll start seeing the same faces over and over. That's an icebreaker. "Hey, I saw you last week." You didn't go to the show with friends, but you can make new friends at the show. Obviously, you can do this with your crew around you too, but I'm suggesting this so you can get more out of your concert experience. But what if you don't want to be social? That works too. Being at the show by yourself means that you can be in your element with less distractions. You don't have to answer to anybody. You can just focus on the music and enjoy yourself. There's comfort in knowing that everyone in the room is there for the same reason, the love of the music. Then there's the show itself. If live music is something you enjoy, you don't want to miss what could be a lot of fun. For a great live band, the songs come to life when played loudly for an audience. Sometimes you have the unique presentation of the band changing up the set list or bringing guest musicians on stage with them, but even on a regular night, you could still have a great time watching them work. Sure, there's the thought of, "Man, I wish so-and-so were here to see this," but that just gives you more to remember and play back for later. Whether your friend goes to the show with you or not has nothing to do with how the band plays. The party starts when you get there, and you're there to partake for those who can't, if you'd like to frame it that way. What about the collectibles? Catching guitar picks, set lists, and drumsticks is always fun. Collecting ticket stubs, taking show flyers home, meeting band members. You wouldn't get to do any of that if you just stayed home. Hearing a rare song that almost never gets played on tour? Oh, you definitely don't want to miss that. Then there's the tour merch. Designs that probably won't be available ever again once the tour is over. If you want to overload your dresser that barely shuts as it is, then you definitely don't need concert companions for any of that. If you miss shows simply because you have no one to go with, you're going to miss out on all these other memories and potential new connections and opportunities. It's all a matter of mindset and making the most out of the ticket price. There's a lot of joy out there. The key is to look for it, and, if need be, to conjure it. Want to have fun? Make it happen. Grind on.